Hi, my name is Victor with spiceandadvice.com and welcome to Spice and Advice. Today we're going to be making a whole meal. We're going to be making a chicken stew and we're going to put eggplant with it. And then we're going to make brown rice to go with it. The ingredients for the brown rice are 4.5 cups of water, 1 bay leaf, 1 tablespoon chicken bouillon, half a teaspoon of salt or to taste, 2 cups of brown rice, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. We're going to start with the rice. We're going to put 2.5 cups of water. Here is 2 cups. I'm going to start the heat. I'm going to start first in high so I can get my water boiling because that's what we want. We want to make sure that the water boils. Add 1 bay leaf. We're going to use a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. I like to put chicken bouillon in the rice because it makes it tastier. So let's say you decide you want to have some rice and you don't want to make beans or anything else complicated with, your rice already has a flavor. We're going to add some salt. I know that the chicken bouillon already has salt, but rice, you want it to be seasoned. If it's not seasoned, it's just gonna taste like nothing. And we're gonna wait until it boils. Stir it up. And while we do that, we're gonna start with the chicken. The chicken stew ingredients are 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large onion chopped, 1 green pepper chopped, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of ham bouillon, 1 teaspoon coriander, 1 teaspoon basil, half a teaspoon smoked paprika, 1 envelope of Sazon, 1 cup tomato sauce, 3 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon of chopped oregano, 1 tablespoon of chopped culantro, 2 tablespoons of Spanish alcaparrado, 1 large eggplant, 5 chicken leg quarters, skinned, trimmed, and cut, salt and pepper, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. We're going to start with the chicken. We're going to put some oil in the pot, like 2 tablespoons of oil. We're going to have onions, green peppers. You can use bell peppers. I'm using Cubanelle peppers because to me, they're tastier. Garlic, you can use minced garlic, but today I feel like having real garlic. So I'm just having cloves of garlic that I just slice. It's tomato sauce, some basil. We have some smoked paprika, and then I put a little bit of cayenne pepper, like 1/8 of a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit more flavor. Teaspoon of coriander, some Spanish alcaparrado. What Spanish alcaparrado is a mix of green olives, capers, and pimentos. So if you don't have Spanish alcaparrados in your store, just put some green olives, some capers, and some pimento. Ham bouillon, some bay leaves, eggplant. We're gonna have some culantro, and we're gonna have Cuban oregano. You can use any type of oregano, but fresh oregano is always better. You don't have fresh oregano, then use dry oregano. I'm using the Cuban oregano because this is what I grow in my backyard. And then we're gonna use chicken legs and thighs. Why we're using chicken legs and thighs? Because they're flavorful. They have more flavor than the white meat. The white meat can get dry. The legs and the thighs, dark meat, is really, really flavorful. I'm using it with bones because, first of all, the bones give more flavor. Second of all, show me a chicken without bones, and I'll show you a chicken I don't want to cook. So we're using it with bones. You don't want to bother with the bones, then get some boneless thighs. You can use that, but I always think that the bone gives it so much more flavor. And last but not least, pepper and salt. Now that we have our oil is warm, we're gonna put our onions in. And what we want to do with the onions, we just want to sweat them. We don't want to caramelize them. We just want to sweat them. While we do that, our water for the rice is boiling, so we're gonna add the rice. 2 cups of basmati brown rice. Put it in. Stir it a little bit. Let's see how it's going in salt. Yep, that's good. Now we're gonna cover it, and then we're gonna lower the heat from high to medium. We want it to cook medium. You don't want it to cook too high, because what it's gonna do is gonna dry up the water, but the fiber of the brown rice is not gonna break and it's not gonna open. So then you're gonna have crunchy rice, and nobody likes crunchy rice. Now we have our onions and they're sweating. So now we're gonna add peppers. And the garlic. We're gonna mix them a little bit, and once again, we want to do the same thing. We just want to sweat them a little bit. We don't want to burn them, because the moment you burn them, it's gonna mess up the whole thing. While we are waiting on that, we're gonna cut our oregano and the culantro. Very easy. Take it in half, cut there, and you want to cut it in little pieces. You don't have to cut it in little pieces. You can just cut it in bigger chunks, but I like it in little pieces. Okay, now we take the oregano and we're gonna cut all the stems because those are hard. We cut the stems, and now we're just gonna cut the leaves. They don't have to be necessarily really small. I mean, when they start cooking in the stew, it's just gonna become nothing. So it will be okay. Stir our mix. And let me show you how it looks. The onion and the peppers are sweated. The garlic is starting to get a little bit darker. That's getting close to add all the other ingredients. Once again, we just want to sweat it. We want to cook it. We don't want to burn it. Once we burn it, garlic burnt, it's sour and it will mess up your stew. Now we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. The oregano, culantro. What we're doing is we're making a sofrito. It's used in Latin cuisine and Filipino cuisine. Everybody has a different flavor to it, but that's what we're making. We're making a sofrito. We're gonna add the Spanish alcaparrado, bay leaves. I'm using 1 pork bouillon, big one. We're adding the basil. We're adding the coriander. We're stirring. Make sure that you break the bouillon, because you want the flavor to mix with everything. You don't want it to be in chunks. It's not gonna flavor your sofrito. Plus, it's not really that tasty when you take a bite and it's a big chunk of bouillon. We're gonna let that cook for a few minutes. Then we're gonna add 1 can of tomato sauce. We're gonna add the smoked paprika with the cayenne. We're gonna use 1 envelope of Sazon. This is a Latin seasoning. It has achiote, it has different spices. Different companies have different mixes, but the important part is the achiote, because the achiote is gonna give color to your stew. Of course, we already put some smoked paprika that's gonna give color, but this is gonna finish with the color. It's gonna give an extra flavor. We're gonna use 1 envelope. And then we're gonna let it cook for a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Don't let it burn. You want it to cook slowly in medium. If it's too hot, then lower your temperature a little bit more and let that cook. In the meantime, we're gonna get the chicken ready. What I did is I took the legs and thighs and I just cut it in 3. So put the knife there. That's 1. That's 2 and 3. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on the chicken. And a little bit of pepper. Mix it. And we're ready to put the chicken with the sofrito. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit the chicken there and we're gonna cover it with the sofrito. It's a little bit too dry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in a little bit of wine. I'm gonna use white wine. I'm gonna use a Pinot Grigio. You can use red wine. It will work the same. Just put a little bit. Wine makes everything better. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cover it. We're gonna let that to start boiling. In the meantime, we're gonna look at our rice. We're gonna lift the lid. We're just gonna stir the rice a little bit. Cover it and continue cooking. Remember, we're still cooking on medium heat. A little bit, anything more than that is gonna dry up your rice and it's not gonna cook all the way. And now we just wait. Hey Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
While we wait for all that to cook, I'm pouring me some red wine, and I just want to talk a little bit about the messages that I got. Thank you so much to everyone that has been messaging me and asking questions. To answer some of your questions, yes, this is my gray hair. Yes, it is all mine. And yes, I work hard for it. So no, I'm not gonna be coloring it. One of our viewers sent me a message saying that her family didn't like her food. What can she do? Well, first of all, you watch my show, because then you'll learn how to make fabulous food. But this is what you do. One day you come home, you sit, turn the TV on, pour yourself a glass of wine, and you drink your wine. When your family come and they ask for food, you say, no, you don't like my food, So you can go and make food for yourself. You know what? Next time, they'll think about it before they criticize your food. That's it. Okay, our rice is dry now. You see, all the liquid is gone. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add oil. The rice is not done yet. It still needs more cooking. You're gonna say, oh my God, that's a lot of oil. You want your rice to taste good or you want your rice to be healthy? That's a choice you gotta make. And it's olive oil, it's good for you. So we stir it to make sure that all of the rice gets covered in the oil. We cover it again and we continue cooking. The rice is almost there, but it's gonna still need like 10, 15 more minutes. Our chicken is boiling. So we're gonna stir it. You see how pretty it looks? The sauce is getting thicker. So we are getting ready to add our eggplant. The reason why we didn't cut the eggplant ahead of time is because eggplant gets dark with the oxygen. We don't want it to be brown. We want it to be its nice, beautiful color. So that's why we're cutting it just before we're gonna put it in the pot. We cut that part. We cut the bottom. It's easier to use a potato peeler. You see how easy? You can do it with a knife if you want to, but it's more difficult and there's no reason for it. Of course, you want to have a good potato peeler. If your potato peeler is giving you a hard time, get a new one. Trust me, it's worth every penny. After we have it all peeled, we're gonna cube it. What the eggplant is gonna do is it's gonna make the sauce thicker. You're gonna be able to taste the eggplant, and when it takes all the flavor from the sofrito and the chicken, it's just gonna be spectacular. So now, you see how beautiful that is? If you leave it out when you cut it, it's gonna start to turn brown. And you want small cubes, don't cut them in big cubes. You could put big cubes, but it's gonna take longer to cook. And I don't know you all, but I'm hungry. There. Now we're gonna throw it in with the chicken in the stew. Now we uncover our chicken. You see how the chicken is already cooking? You can tell. So now we throw in the eggplant. If you really like eggplant, you can use eggplant and a half. I'm only using one, but in the past I have done it with two. And then you want to mix it. So what is gonna happen is all that eggplant is gonna fall apart. As it cooks, it's just gonna become part of the sauce. We're gonna taste. Yeah, it needs a little bit more salt. I'm using kosher salt with the stew. And more pepper. There's nothing like fresh ground pepper. Oh yeah, that did it. We cover it again, and now we let it cook some more. Alexa, stop. Lexi says it's time to check the rice. We'll call her Lexi because if you call her by her name, she will wake up and she has something to say. Most of the time, we just call her Lexi. Okay, we're gonna stir the rice. Let's see how it's doing. It needs like 5 more minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, Lexi said that it's the time's up. Let's see the rice. Oh yeah, that's ready. We're turning it off and we're taking it out of the heat. We're gonna leave it covered to keep it warm. In the meantime, we're gonna check the chicken. So you see it's boiling and eggplant is already falling apart. You see how soft it is? The sauce is getting thicker in the stew, and that's exactly what we want. We're gonna stir it a little bit. And we're gonna cover it again. But this time we're gonna lower the temperature. So we're gonna put it in medium low. Here in spicegnome.com, we spare no expenses into protecting our recipes. Okay, let's check our chicken. Oh, look how beautiful. Yep, this is ready. You see how beautiful that sauce is, thick. The eggplant is soft, like pillows. It's gorgeous. We turn it off, and now it's time to plate it. It's time to eat. And there you have it. Brown rice with chicken stew and eggplant. It looks, you can see the garlic, you can see the olive, the chicken is so tender, it's falling apart. Mix it with the, hello, there. Piece of the eggplant. Mmm. 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 Oh yeah, that's delicious. It is so good. The rice mixed with the sauce of the stew, with the eggplant and the chicken, it's heaven. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna have another bite. It's hot, watch out. Mmm. That's the stuff. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe as much as I do. Please, if you like this recipe and many of the other recipes we're gonna have, please click the like, subscribe, and click that bell so you can get notifications every time we get a new video. Thank you so much. And remember, you have a question, check our Facebook, send me a message. I love to tell people what to do. Man, I'm good.